You know, I can talk all day about TrueView, that's the problem. I think the key thing about TrueView is actually for people to frame it correctly in their own mind. So before I joined Google, I was global head of planning at Zenith Optimedia. And a chap from Google came in and said, we've invented this thing which is going to change advertising. It's called a skippable ad. And I just thought, well, you've clearly taken leave of your senses, you're a nutter. I don't want consumers to skip my ads. I want to be able to force people to watch them. And that in itself gives you a hint as to perhaps why I wasn't thinking straight back then. So when I joined Google, I really looked at the stats and really looked at what advertisers were doing. And what we find is that people may come in and originally start buying forced exposure pre-rolls, which you can buy on YouTube, but very rapidly they move over to TrueView, which is this basically letting the consumer take control. If you show me a feminine hygiene product ad, I don't want to watch it. I'm never going to buy the product. So from an advertiser point of view, you really don't want to pay to reach me. So by making it more of an invitation to connect, which is to say really think of it as advertisers going out saying to people, hey, do you want to talk about mountain bikes? If the answer is yes, you go, well, this is fantastic, let's have a chat. If the answer is no, it's, well, oh, that's all I'm selling, dude, so why don't you head off, no harm, no foul, I'm not wasting your time, I'm not wasting my money. And that we really see advertisers are beginning to come to grips with that. Whether it's with native content, so content they've made on YouTube and they're promoting heavily, or through their own content. And you see a couple of key things happening. The first thing you see is that it acts as a filter. You're really finding people with whom either your category or brand is relevant. And because you can then remarket to those people, you're able to have an ongoing conversation. And what we see is view-through rates going through the roof. We see cost per contacts really coming down because you're finding them across the auction in much cheaper places. So you can have an ongoing conversation with a group of people who really want to hear from you, rather than just spamming the entire country with messages which they may not want to hear at all. So, I mean, my prediction is one day we will, the world will want to be, everything will be skippable in some way, shape or form, or opt-in advertising. It has to be the way of the future.